Hey, I'm Josh from Stick to Your Guns, and I'm gonna tell you a tour prank story that happened one time. I ruptured 2 tendons in the pulley system in my hand, which unfortunately is the hand that I use to play guitar with. And so whenever I bend my hand like this, the tendon's bowstring, and it hurts like a motherfucker. So what I have to do for 16 minutes, twice a day, is soak my hand in ice water for a minute and then scalding hot water for a minute. That's what the hand therapist told me. So that's why I'm like this, why I'm gonna tell you this story. Okay, so I was on tour one time with one of my old bands, and we were on tour with a band called Strung Out. It's a punk band that I grew up listening to, so I was super pumped on being on the tour. And the whole entire tour, the drummer would just be like, end of the tour, last night is prank night. The very last night of the tour, it's gonna be prank night, it's gonna be crazy. And we're all thinking, all right, like we'll do pranks, we're down to prank. So the tour goes, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks. Everyone's getting along great. Sorry, I gotta change my hands here. And it gets to the last night, and Evergreen Terrace is on stage, and we're playing, and all of a sudden, rolls of toilet paper start being shot out from behind us into the crowd. And I turn around, and I see the drummer from Strung Out and a couple of the other guys throwing these rolls of toilet paper. And I was thinking, this is one of the weakest pranks ever. If anything, it just kind of looks like we have really bad production, but something cool is happening. When Strung Out goes on, the drummer of the band that I was in and myself, we get on this balcony that was above the drummer on stage. And we have this bag of flour. And so we're like, oh, we're gonna antique him a little bit. So drummer's holding the bag of flour, and he's holding it like this, and I go to tap it, but none of the flour really falls out, just a couple of sprinkles. And we're like, what the fuck? So I start hitting it, and then I hit it really hard, and the whole like 5-pound block of flour slides out of the bag, and it hits the drummer on the head, and there's a fan next to him, and there's a fan above him, and it creates this fucking whirlwind of flour to where the band's playing, and then they start like choking, and then the kids start choking, and then it turns into this like emergency evacuation, and people are like, ah! Like people can see it in their eyes. The band doesn't know what's going on. They think there's some sort of terrorist attack happening. And I look at my friend and I go, oh shit, I think we may have gone a little too far. And so everyone starts running out of the venue because they have no clue what it is. And we get outside of the venue, and the drummer of Strung Out is completely fucking covered from head to toe in flour. And he's just like, what the fuck? And he sees us laughing, and he realizes it was us, so he starts to chase us. The rest of the band and the rest of the guys in Strung Out, when they ran out the door, they are confronted with their van and trailer, which we had covered in KY jelly and wallpapered the most explicit gay pornography that I've ever seen all over it, and then took 500 feet of saran wrap and saran wrapped it all together. Shockingly, they didn't find any of this funny at all. And it was the last night of tour. And it was really like, usually last night of tour was like, hey man, good tour, fucking thanks for coming out, like, hey, you know, all this shit. It was like, hey, good tour. And they were like, yeah man, thanks. And so we were like, they fucking hate us.
And that's why you don't do tour prank nights ever with our band.
Yeah, it ended up costing the band like $700 because we damaged a bunch of their equipment.
You will lose in the prank war against Stick to Your Guns. Let it be known.